Hello and welcome everyone to the April 17th episode of This Week in Kirkland, the official podcast of the City of Kirkland, bringing you timely topics and noteworthy news delivered to you every week. I'm your host, Jim Lopez, one of two deputy city managers here at the city, joined today by two members of our podcast team.
Gina Jan.
And David Wilbrecht.
Yeah, you heard it right.
That's
Gina
right.
Jan.
Oh, yes.
I'm back.
Not
Yes.
just a podcast guest star,
Part of the team.
but now you're part of the podcast.
A joy. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on. And we are super excited to welcome Grace Fletcher, Education and Outreach Coordinator for Waste Management.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here today.
Well, we're very excited to have you.
Yeah, welcome, Grace.
I'm excited to be
Welcome.
here.
We're going to hear all about waste management, the WM.
Yep, that's right.
Sounds like a TV network to me. We're going to hear all about the WM.
Yes.
One to be tuned into, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely
Yeah.
want to be
Oh,
tuned in.
nice.
But before we do, Grace, what are you doing for fun these days?
Well, the weather's getting a lot nicer.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully. So I'm getting out and hiking. I love to cook, love like seasonal meals. Travel's a big one. High and far.
Nice.
And then,
Okay.
of course, recycling is what I do for
Yeah.
fun.
Well,
For fun, yeah.
Yes, it is fun.
It is a common theme with our guests.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
What do you
that's
do for fun? Well, something that saves the environment. Like when you're when you're in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So do you cook anything with ricotta cheese in it?
I will, yeah. I'm a big pasta fan, so like
Okay.
a creamy ricotta
Nice.
pasta, I'll definitely
Delicious.
go
I
for.
ask because I could probably take anything. I could take ricotta cheese intravenously.
I think
Although
you've
don't
tried
try
that.
at
No.
home. Don't try
Yeah,
that
please
at home.
don't. This
All
is
right.
not a recommended.
Well, we're very excited, Grace, to hear all about the WM. But first, here's what we're talking about this week in Kirkland. Did you miss your chance to design Kirkland's future flag?
Oh.
This is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I have good news for you if you think you missed the chance. Because the window's open again. David, how do people get involved?
That's right. So the Kirkland Flag Design Portal is back open until May 1st. Whether you live here or just love Kirkland, your creativity could help shape the official flag for the city. Now, you don't need to be a pro. We'll take sketches, phone pictures, even doodles
Oh,
are
that's
welcome.
good.
Yeah.
So we just want your pure imagination.
That's right. Is that a Willy Wonka
It's a Willy
reference?
Wonka reference.
Chocolate bars
Yeah,
also
all
welcome. So learn more and submit your idea at kirklandwa.gov/flag.
Although I have a suspicion, Gina, if you were to send us some, it would have something very sustainable associated with it.
Oh, yeah. And be made out of upcycled
Oh.
materials.
Yes. Next
Right
level.
off the jump.
Okay.
Here I am thinking symbols, and she's thinking materials.
Boom.
That's it.
It's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, one program,
Okay.
6 cities,
Whoa.
500 homes.
That's not bad.
And counting.
Hey.
Gina, tell us about the success of the Energy Smart Eastside Heat Pump Program.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to. We had David Barnes on
David
last
Barnes.
week,
Yeah.
That's right.
who shared with us that the Energy Smart Eastside program has celebrated its 500th heat pump installation.
A lot of
Boom.
pumps.
In 2024 alone, heat pumps installed through this program are estimated to have saved, or they will save, 9,300 metric tons of CO2 over their lifetimes.
Wow.
So to put that in a little context,
We need context, Gina.
the equivalency of that is over 1 million gallons of gasoline not being consumed,
Whoa.
or over 10 million pounds of coal not being burned.
That's
Really?
amazing.
Yes, according to the EPA's greenhouse gas equivalency
Love that.
calculator. So,
Boom. That's impactful.
yeah, it's when you think about 9,300 metric tons of CO2, it's
like,
like, what is that?
That sounds good.
So that's what
There
that
we
is.
go. Boom.
These pumps reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 91% and help homes stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
If you're curious about a heat pump for your home, call today. Connect
Yeah.
with a friendly rep who will answer all your questions, make the process easy, and get you a $6,000 rebate.
I'll never think of 9,300 metric tons of CO2 the same way again.
Right? I'm not sure how I thought about it the first time, but
That's right.
forever changed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gina.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're thinking about going electric with your bike,
Hey.
this is your moment. And I'll tell you, I was out biking the other day.
Me too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Bravo, David.
Yeah.
Because I need to go out biking a lot more than I do.
Well,
You, on the other hand, I'm sure.
No, I could use biking a lot more too. It was funny. I was on the CKC biking home, and someone just like zoom
Went right
right
by.
past me. I was like, wow, they got an assist.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Kinda made me a little jealous.
Because
Hey.
I didn't have an assist.
Yeah.
I've got an assist.
You have
Yeah.
an assist?
But I did 20-mile bike ride on Sunday, so
Wow.
With-
okay.
some
Now
assist.
you're just showing off. Because I was going up a hill, and I was huffing and puffing.
Yeah. Well, same here, Jim.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Tell us about this.
Yeah, okay, back to the electric. So WashDOT, of course, Washington State Department of Transportation, is offering rebates of $300 or $1,200 for
Wow.
e-bikes and gear. So it's a lottery system with about $4 million in rebates. So there's a lot of opportunity here, folks. Go ahead and
I need to get involved in
yeah.
this.
Link is in the show note. Apply by April 23rd. So act now.
We have a lot of like giveaways. And
Yeah,
stuff
we're
on
trying
the
to
show.
nudge behaviors.
Yeah. It's impressive. Hey, if you're putting your waste carts in the wrong spot, Gina, your neighbors definitely know.
Well, yeah, I've
And they tell us.
Do they tell us?
Sometimes.
Oh, they tell us.
okay.
So, how can our community be cart smart?
Yeah.
Or, as they say, I can't help myself.
Caught smart.
Thank you. David.
Wicked smart.
Wicked smart. Yeah, let's be wicked cat smart.
Nice.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah. Kirkland's cart placement ordinance, which dates back to 2012,
Ooh, okay.
makes neighborhoods safer and more accessible. So please place your carts out no more than 24 hours before pickup and remove no later than 24 hours after collection.
Yes.
So, yes. And then leave 2 feet between each. And be sure to place the carts so they're not blocking sidewalks, bike lanes, or traffic lanes.
So, let me be clear. I'm not supposed to block the sidewalk.
Correct.
Correct.
No.
Okay, got it.
Please.
Yes. The last meeting of the Kirkland City Council was on Tuesday, April 15th. Here's what happened. On the business agenda, Council approved extending the community engagement process and ultimately the draft plan date
Right.
for the Homelessness Continuum of Care Action Plan. So that's been pushed off to allow some more community engagement. And the Council adopted the 2025-2027 Planning Work Program.
Prior to the business agenda, on the study session, council received an update on the Iceplex and Community Center proposal. Jem,
Yes.
you were there for that
Yeah,
one.
I got a couple of those. Tune in.
That's right.
So council meetings, as always, are streamed live on the city's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and on the city's website.
That's right.
Hey, everybody, for the 6th year running, Kirkland police are recognized for staying sharp, trained, and ready. Doesn't surprise me. They're amazing.
Fact. So, Kirkland Police Department earned the Lexipol Gold Standard recognition yet again. And so this is the highest level for policy and training done by this organization. It reflects how our officers are staying up to date and committed to safety and accountability. So great job,
Great
Kirkland
job,
Police Department.
KPD.
Really great job.
Yeah. Hey, it's National Work Zone Awareness Week. Do you guys know that?
Do now.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. And this good reminder this week to slow down, stay alert, and give road crews a break. Gina, what should people know?
That's a great question. Nearly 95% of injuries in work zones happen to drivers and passengers.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
please drive the speed limit, stay focused, and never drive distracted or impaired. Eyes on the road, people.
Eyes on the road.
Give them a break.
It's National Animal Control Officer Appreciation Week.
Wow. Also,
We had a really fun show.
it's true with Angela Arnold,
Angela Arnold.
our animal control officer. Yeah.
Yeah.
The peacocks.
Peacocks. You got to tune into that, everybody.
Bonnie and Clyde. Yep.
So it's time to say thank you to our dedicated professionals who help keep both people and pets, like Angela, safe in our community.
So, yeah, thank you, Angela, and all the other animal control officers out there and folks doing animal control work. So, as Officer Arnold likes to say, an animal control officer protects people from animals, protects animals from people,
Yeah.
and protects animals from animals.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little
It's
trifecta
like a
there.
trifecta.
Yes.
It's elegant.
Yes.
I like it. And a reminder, license your pets in Kirkland so that if your pet is ever separated from you, our friendly Officer Arnold can give your pet a free ride home.
Wow, that's great.
And-
What were the name of the peacocks? Is it Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah, that's kind of
Clyde
where we
Manor?
landed
That's where we
on,
landed?
but they might have been something. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think they were originally Bonnie.
they're Bonnie and Clyde to me.
To us, yes.
Yeah, that's
It was a great story.
Yeah, it was.
They do such a great job.
Love it.
Hey, a couple of upcoming events for you to check out. Gina, help us out here.
Yeah, we've got Junk in the Trunk.
Junk in the Trunk.
Yeah,
this
it's
one's fun.
I know, the community yard sale. So just think of Saturday, May 3rd at the Houghton Park and Play. Great opportunity there.
Yeah. So just empty out your
Yeah.
garage with the things that you want to
Sell and-
re-gift.
That's right.
Yeah, pop open the trunk and
There you
ta-da!
go.
Ta-da!
Hosting your own garage sale can be a bit of a to-do, but
Yeah.
this seems like a really good
Yeah.
option for people who might not want to go through all that.
Yeah,
Because we make it easy, Nate.
Yep. It's like a very easy kind of flea market situation.
Yeah.
Pop
Nice.
up.
There you
So
go.
That sounds great. State of the City and Community Appreciation Night, May 13th at the Kirkland Performance Center.
Some of us will be singing and dancing.
Jim, will you be?
You really need to get your tickets for this.
Oh, yep, that's true.
We really, really
I think we
wanna
already,
know.
we already have over,
lot.
I think over 100 already registered.
Wow.
We really want to sell it out,
Well,
Yeah.
even though it's free.
Right.
we want to
What do you say when-
maximize attendance.
Yeah, maximize attendance.
That's right. I mean, there'll be the State of the City address by the mayor.
Yeah, it's
true.
gonna be
These
amazing.
live performances, food, and community.
Yes.
So let's get those tickets.
Yes. And a reminder, everyone, as always, we have links and more information in the show notes for all of our items.
That's right.
And that brings us to our 5 over 5. That's 5 questions, and what is sure to be mathematically certain
Yes.
to be over 5 minutes with our special guest. Welcome, Grace.
Hi, yeah, thanks everyone.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for letting me come on.
So, Grace, you're an education and outreach coordinator.
I am.
What does an education and outreach coordinator do?
Yeah, so part of my job is making sure that everyone across the Puget Sound knows how to recycle right. And a lot of that work goes on right here in the city of Kirkland, where I get to work with the wonderful Gina Jan
Yeah,
pretty
Gina.
consistently.
Oh, dang.
That's
You are the wonderful Grace. I'll say that.
Well,
That's
let's just say
amazing.
you're an amazing team.
That's right.
Definitely.
Wow.
'Cause people do have questions.
It's true. A lot of questions.
Yeah.
I mean, which is really a testament to our kind of the regional community. So you said kind of all over King County, is that right?
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the Puget Sound.
Sound, okay.
Yeah, but I will say Kirkland's got some really great recyclers. Like this city, I mean, you guys really show up and show out. We had our Recycle Right event last Saturday on April 5th, and we
Oh,
had
nice.
almost 700 residents from
Ooh.
Kirkland show up to that. And
Holy
you guys want to
cow.
recycle correctly, too. You want to recycle right. You want to be able to do the right thing, which makes my job a lot easier when I'm going around trying to educate residents on how to recycling. You ask the right questions. You're always super curious.
So what you're saying is that we're the best.
That's
There is
right.
a certain theme of Kirkland exceptionalism that goes on in this show.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, you got to own it.
Yeah.
Do you have any history with Kirkland? Do you ever come up and visit?
Yeah, definitely. I'm born and raised in the Puget Sound, so
Nice.
I remember coming over here with my friends and family growing up, swimming off the docks, paddleboarding.
nice.
Yeah,
Love
so
it.
definitely, sitting and having a picnic by the waterside, fond memories here in Kirkland.
Nice.
Well, we had this community event last night called For the Love of Kirkland. And one of the ideas was to put like a sea monster or something. Like tentacles coming out. So
Oh, fun.
I was wondering, maybe,
Like the Kraken.
yeah, we talked a little bit about like having a part of the lake have like sea monster things coming out. But it would have to be environmentally sound.
That's right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that would be
All
kind
right,
of an iconic.
We'll workshop
We'll
that. a
workshop
bit.
that.
All right.
Okay.
So, Grace, the WM is the solid waste hauler for the city.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so WM has been Kirkland's sustainability champion for just over 20 years, which is a couple years shy of how long I've been on this earth. So for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good context.
Yes,
right?
and that includes 3 main things. The first being educating the residents of the city of Kirkland about what can be recycled. Also includes WM picking up Kirkland's recycling, and then us ensuring that all of that recycling gets turned into a new product for its second life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
amazing.
a lot.
love to say, we work really closely with Waste Management and with Grace, the solid waste team, on so many awesome projects and reaching a lot of people, like our multifamily residents as well. Grace
Yeah.
goes out and
Is
helps,
that a special challenge, the multifamily? 'Cause that's different,
they
right?
have their own unique challenges and barriers.
What are they?
Well, it depends on the stream, but
Yeah.
we'll say for recycling, one is just making sure the right items are getting in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also have, with compost, it's, can be thought of as kind of yucky and gross. People don't necessarily want to deal with compost, but we try to mitigate that as best we can with our really excellent service.
I noticed
That's
that you said
awesome.
the stream.
Yeah, waste stream.
I mean, that just reminds me of Ghostbusters. Anyone else?
That's right, the stream.
Because you shouldn't cross the streams,
cross
right?
streams.
Yes,
But
that's
I
right.
love how your vernacular sounds so environmentally sound.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a stream.
it's a
not
stream. It's not like
a waste
a waste bucket.
gutter. Okay.
A waste gutter.
because the stream, like, so you're talking about like the green bucket, the blue bucket, and the
Yes.
what is it? The gray.
Gray.
bucket.
Yes, that's right. Those
Yeah.
are the
Those
three
are the
streams.
3 streams.
Yeah,
The streams
that
of
your
where
stuff is flowing through
flowing
those streams.
through the streams.
That's right.
I like that. I
Yeah.
think that helps.
And so, Grace, WM is our sustainability partner in that they take the stream from our curbside and bring it to wherever the stuff goes. Where does the stuff go?
Exactly. Great question. So yeah, we pick up your streams, as we put it, from the curb. And for recycling, that looks like we're taking it to our materials recovery facility. The one for Kirkland is actually up in Woodinville, called our Cascade Recycling
So you're
Center.
confirming that. This is the MRF.
Yes, this is the MRF,
So you're
aka
saying
Material
the
Recovery
MRF
Facility.
exists,
Okay. The
Yeah.
MRF
She's saying
exists.
it.
The Murph is real.
The
It
MRF
exists.
but
Yeah.
we're coming out, right, to the MRF?
Yeah. We're hoping to get a date on the calendar to have the city of Kirkland out to the MRF for a nice tour.
Nate, can we invite our listeners for that tour?
I have no idea.
It's like, I'm working the board.
That was
It's like I'm
above my
working the
pay
board.
grade, sir.
Yeah. Well, the answer to that question, Nate,
Okay. So
yes,
Yes.
we'll be recording a podcast from the MRF.
there you go.
will we do that?
Is that let's
That's
think
what we're
about
trying
that.
to figure out. Okay, so Grace, so
Yes.
materials are brought from the bin via truck to the MRF.
Yes.
What happens at the MRF?
Yeah, so the purpose of our material recovery facilities, or MRFs, if you might be unfamiliar, the purpose of these facilities is to separate out recyclables into their different material types. So you've got all sorts of technology in our recovery facilities that are separating things out. Cardboard goes in one area, bottles in another, cans in another. And at the end, you have these beautiful things we call bales, which are really just cubes of super clean recyclables. So we've got a cube of cardboard, a cube
Nice.
of
Wow.
aluminum, and so on and so forth. So the job is separation, and we do
Gotcha.
that through physical characteristics of each recyclable
So people are
material.
there doing all that sorting.
Some, right?
We have a mix of technology and employees.
Do you have robots?
We do have robots, actually. Yeah, they're called our optical sorters, and they actually we do name them. Yes.
Like Sally?
Sally.
Yeah.
Or what's one of them?
We don't give them those
Oh, okay.
specific
Oh,
names.
okay.
Oh, we'll
But,
be naming them.
yeah, right.
We'll be naming them.
But yeah, their job is essentially to separate out materials, and
Wow.
so they can identify up to 16 items per second.
Whoa.
Yep, and
that-
shoot a gust of air to blow these items into different paths.
Oh my
so
gosh.
it's really
This sounds
interesting
super
to see.
cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're big science fiction
Yes.
nerds here. At
Oh,
This Week in
good.
Kirkland.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
good.
Ghostbusters deep cut.
We're
didn't-
nerds,
yeah.
didn't- So they end up with cubes. What happens to the cubes?
Yeah, so then those bales or cubes,
sorry,
as we call
bales.
them,
The
either way,
bales.
that
Sounds
finished
like hay.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
that finished product then gets sent off to our manufacturers, our markets that we have great relationships with, and that's where our manufacturers will actually melt down that material and make it into something new.
Okay.
So this is a whole economic cycle.
That's right. Okay.
Oh,
Because then they
yes.
become new products that then
Yeah.
we buy again. And,
Exactly.
And that's the kind of intended life cycle
Yep.
of all the materials.
That's
and,
that loop that we're shooting for, is
Okay.
making sure these materials are able to get turned into something new time and time again.
Okay, so
Amazing.
for everybody keeping tabs at home, we're in a stream, and that's the blue stream.
the
The
recycling.
stream, the
li-
recycling stream.
That goes right through the blue bin.
Yep.
It's very much like a blue bubbling brook.
Oh, how peaceful. Yes.
Yes.
And that all goes to the MRF, which we now have.
Confirmed.
Yeah, we still need to go there.
We're going to go.
We're going to go.
Trust but
And I do
verify.
want to invite any listener that wants to go too. It sounds super cool.
Yep.
So then when you get to the MRF, the people and the robots, or at least robot, there are more coming, I'm sure, they separate it into
Bales.
bales.
Yeah.
And then the bales get sold or what have you on markets and manufacturing partners. Amazing.
And it goes back into
Exactly.
the economy.
And
Yep.
then
then you're back at the store buying that plastic water bottle, that can of soda.
Yeah, we call this
Box
the
of cereal.
reinforcing loop of goodness.
We're coining that term right
I
now.
like
Have you ever heard
Feel
that
free to
before?
take that, Grace.
I like that name.
The
That's a really
reinforcing
good
loop
name.
of goodness.
Yeah, no, that's a great name. I love it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take notes on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is super exciting. So that's where the blue stream goes.
That's amazing. Okay, so I think a lot of times people aren't sure, or there's like some of these like edge cases.
Yeah.
Some
I
like
have a few.
Okay, Jim, shoot.
Do you have a few?
You first.
Bottle caps.
Bottle caps. Grace, what do we do with bottle caps?
Yeah, bottle caps is something we get a lot of questions about, and I have a good answer for all of you. So if it's, a plastic water bottle with a plastic water bottle cap, you can actually just screw the cap back on as long as the water bottle is empty, making sure there's no more water in there. You can screw the lid back on, and that will be recycled as one plastic item.
So the cap
Got it.
can go back on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and becomes part of, it's like one unit again.
One unit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well played,
Yeah.
David.
Hey,
If
thank
the
you.
water bottle has a paper label, should that be removed first?
Nope. That paper label will likely burn off during the actual recycling process.
Great
So you
question
don't
on
have to
that.
remove the labels. Great question.
Okay.
Also, don't put your loose bottle caps because what happens to them?
Yeah, so for loose bottle caps, that's why they need to be screwed back on to that empty water bottle, is because loose bottle caps are smaller than the palm of your hand or smaller than 3 inches in diameter. So for items like a tiny piece of paper or a tiny bottle cap that's smaller than the palm of your hand, it's too small to actually be recycled. It won't be able to make its way through the recycling facility.
What's
so,
that, the 3-inch rule?
Yeah, the 3-inch rule. I like palm of hand, but
Yeah.
3-inch rule works too.
Okay.
All right, what else you got, David?
Pizza boxes.
Yeah.
We've
That's a great one.
Yeah, we've talked about them before, but
Yeah.
maybe I was thinking about this the other day when I was like, what do I do with my pizza box? What do I do?
And
Grace?
some of us eat a lot of pizza.
Not naming names, Jim,
Not
but
naming names, but
looking at you,
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
you don't eat pizza, Nate?
I'm a big time pizza.
I thought so.
Oh, okay.
I have
Yeah.
recommendations for you.
Do you?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
All
we'll
right,
talk
after the
off-
show.
off
yeah.
show.
yeah.
We
Grace.
don't want to blow up our favorite spot.
No, we don't.
Grace, pizza boxes.
Pizza boxes.
Yes.
What do we
yes.
do?
I'd love to answer. So pizza boxes, if they're completely clean and there's no grease, no food, that little plastic table is taken out, then that's considered clean cardboard. And a completely clean pizza box can be put in your recycling bin.
Blue stream.
Blue stream. But if there's pizza grease, pizza sauce, cheese, a spare slice of pepperoni that's still in that box, if there's organic material that's gotten onto that cardboard, then you can actually put that pizza box into your compost bin.
Who throws out a slice of pepperoni?
Yeah. Right? Eat that pepperoni.
But so if it's like really clean, then it's recycling. If it's organic material, i.e. pizza on the pizza box, compost.
Compost, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
so those are
Okay.
naggy things, right?
Yes.
But I'm told that if there was a superhero in the recycling world, that superhero would be an aluminum can.
Oh.
We do love aluminum.
Yeah.
Why is
Aluminum
that?
is great.
Infinity times it can be recycled.
Infinity and
Beyond.
Beyond.
That's
To
right.
infinity and beyond.
That's
Okay,
right.
great. Okay, so aluminum cans. Now, what if they're like really tiny aluminum cans? You know, like tiny little tomato paste or
Yeah,
something.
it's kind of the same. It's that 3-inch rule
Okay.
that we really try to go by. But I think a can of tomato paste is
Okay.
bigger than 3 inches. So
Yeah.
again, with something like that, like a food item, you want to make sure it's clean, empty, and dry. So
Okay.
with a thing like tomato paste, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting as much of that tomato paste out as possible, making sure it's dry before you put that aluminum in your recycling.
so Grace.
That's right.
Yes.
That's a superstar item, right? The aluminum can, superstar item. What are items that drive you?
What are like the villains,
Yeah,
the
what are the
nemesis,
villains? Thank you, David.
the nemesis in the story?
In the story.
Yes.
You're just thinking,
Yeah.
I just wish people would stop throwing X
Yes.
in
Finish
the
that
Yes.
sentence.
Okay, yeah, definitely. First thing that comes to mind, I really wish people would stop throwing batteries in the recycling bin. Yeah.
But batteries, you can recycle batteries, right?
Yeah, batteries are recyclable, but they're not what we call curbside recyclable. So they can't go to our recycling facilities. They're technically, if I fire hazard for the trucks as well as the recycling facility. But batteries are recyclable, so you can bring them to other areas. I know City Hall has a place, Kirkland City Hall.
We
you
do.
can bring your
Oh my
batteries
goodness.
here.
Yeah, we've got
People
City
come
Hall.
in to put batteries in city. So what you're basically saying is batteries aren't bad. They're just misunderstood.
Exactly. So,
So-
don't put your batteries in your recycling bin. Bring them right here to City Hall, and they'll get them recycled
Just
for
like
you.
Professor Snape.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Thank you for that.
So and people do dump them by the bucket load here, which we
Oh, my
like.
goodness.
It's just sometimes it startles us because it's really loud in the
Oh,
lobby
I see.
below.
So
it's so loud.
Yeah.
But
see.
that's
I'm
great.
not complaining, Gina. Come on in.
Good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can also bring them to the Peter Kirk Community Center and
Nice.
also the North Kirkland Community Center.
But we love
all have drop-off areas.
we
too.
love our startling moments. Bring
So-
them in.
Okay, so batteries are misunderstood, but who else are the potentially misunderstood villains of our story
Yes.
here?
Yeah, so plastic bags is definitely another
yeah.
issue we see
That's
at
an
our
issue.
at our
Okay.
recycling facilities. Lots of people put plastic bags in their recycling. So if you get one thing away from this podcast, it's to not put plastic bags into your recycling
All
containers.
right, duly noted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those again, if there's a different location or there's something, okay,
Yeah.
like grocery stores, I think.
Absolutely,
sometimes, right?
You
Okay.
can take your plastic bags
Okay.
to a local grocery store. You can also check on wmnorthwest.com/Kirkland, and we have a really great list of what is recyclable in Kirkland and some options for where to take things that
But
can't go
plastic
curbside.
bags,
No.
Plastic
No.
bags,
Okay.
never in your recycling bin.
Okay.
I feel like we don't get as many plastic bags as we used to get.
Yeah.
Now that there's regulations regarding that, and
a lot of paper options.
yes,
Yeah.
and reusables.
Now, one of the things I like to do is when I go grocery shopping and I have a paper bag, I like to use that to put my loose recyclables in.
Yeah.
that
Just dump them out of the bag into the cart, and that's great.
But don't put the bag in?
You put the bag in just
Just
empty.
not.
Whew,
It's
I thought I was doing it wrong for a long time
well,
there, Gina.
because here is it in our area? Because there's some parts of the country where you're supposed to bag your recycling, right? Is that am I?
Yeah, don't bag your recycling.
Do not bag your
if
recycling.
you put your
Okay.
recycling, this is my understanding, if you put your recycling in a plastic bag, for example, and then throw it in the recycling cart,
No.
it's then picked out at the MRF as garbage.
Well, the purpose of
That's
the
not
MRF
good.
is to separate recyclables by the material that they are. So if they're all, tied up in a plastic bag, our employees and our technology isn't able to see what's actually in that bag.
So there's a couple of terms that I thought we might discuss in prepping up for the show. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's a tangler?
Yeah. So a tangler sounds like I feel like we've got a science fiction
Yeah.
theme going on. Sounds like an alien.
It does. Sounds like a
Jim, the Tanglers,
The
are
Tanglers are
approaching
approaching.
starboard side of
Yeah.
the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
No, the tangler is not an alien. It's a real thing that we see in our recycling facilities. And these are items that tangle up in our equipment and just make the whole, efficiency process a little less efficient. So these plastic bags are a tangler. These can be garden hoses. These can be coat hangers. Those things are all what we consider tanglers that
Gotcha.
get tangled up in our equipment.
I think sometimes at our staff meetings, I can become a tangler.
No comment. Jim.
I need to
I can either confirm or
firmly
deny.
deny that. Yeah. Okay, how about this thing called wish cycling?
Yeah. So wish cycling is exactly what it sounds like. It's, if you're trying to decide if you can recycle something, it's just putting it in the recycling bin because you wish that it was recyclable. Like you're holding an item and you're like, I want this to be turned into something new
else,
so
yes.
bad. I want this to be recycled so bad. So you just put it in your recycling. And
And then
this-
you feel good.
Yeah, because you're like, that's going to get
I might be
recycled.
guilty of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nate.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think people have, the right attitude. They want things to be recycled, which is wonderful. We really want to encourage that. But the best thing to do with an item that you don't know if it's recyclable or not is checking your local recycling guide. And that's, again, wmnorthwest.com/Kirkland. And there's a guide on there that has the names and pictures of everything you can put in your recycling.
Amazing.
So when you do have confusion like that, that's a great place to look.
Yeah. And I should also say we've got our kirklandwa.gov/recycle, which
Yeah.
links to Waste Management's website as well.
Perfect.
So we've got all the resources you could possibly
Yeah.
imagine. Or you can call the recycle hotline.
oh my goodness. There's so. Would you be okay if I called you the WM?
That's
The
fine with me. I
WM.
don't see why not. Yeah.
It feels,
The
The WM. Feels like
We
a
love the WM.
Yes.
studio and a waste management facility at the same time. Okay, so that's wish cycling, and Nate's a little stressed about that. Yeah.
That's okay. We're learning
Can you remember
together. Safe space.
a thing that you wish cycled, Nate?
Probably electronics.
Ooh,
That's not good.
You can do curbside collection for
Yes.
electronics
Yeah.
in Kirkland.
Good.
Yeah, so
Okay.
electronics can't go in your curbside recycling bin, Nate, but that's okay. You can schedule a pickup from WM, and we'll pick up your electronics right next to your recycling bin and take them to be recycled. So
Fantastic.
It
Next
makes
time.
perfect sense because Nate is one of our brilliant producers. Okay, there is a rumor that the Murph has a mascot.
we do have a mascot.
You're confirming that rumor.
We somewhere we need to find it. There is a mascot like costume that we have put on time to time, and it's a blue recycling bin.
It's
Oh
a
my
bin.
gosh.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a bin.
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 Murphy.
Yeah, what's the name? We have a suggestion for
Yeah.
you.
We have Murphy.
Murphy.
Murphy the blue bin.
Yeah.
Could you
Nice
could you
play
pass
on
that
words.
along
Okay.
to your
Powers
peeps?
that be. Okay.
I will let them know. Yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if you do, because does the mascot have a name now?
I think it does, but I cannot think of it for some reason.
So we're kind of causing a problem.
we'll
Are we
we'll
being
have to-
tanglers?
we'll have to check on that.
Well played, Jim.
sorry,
We are
Grace.
being tangled.
You're such a good sport.
I tried.
You are wonderful. Okay.
Everyone's trying to learn.
Yes, that's right.
So will you put out our request that the mascot be named? I don't want. Do we really want to rename it though? I don't think
No, we don't. It just
no.
that's how will be its nickname for us.
so. Yeah, Murphy.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Murphy
Yes.
the blue bin.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bubbling blue bin.
I know. Maybe we'll do our own little
Yeah.
Murphy, the blue bin asks you to recycle right.
There you
Oh,
go.
Hey,
thanks, Gina.
okay.
You're giving me ideas now,
I'm
Jim.
nice.
throwing some ideas out there.
Yeah.
That's an aluminum can of
Yeah. Yeah.
goodness right there.
So I bet you people will be thinking about aluminum cans differently after the show.
Yeah,
Grace.
I
They're
hope
like-
so.
They're like,
Superheroes.
the Avengers of. So we're going to put all that good stuff in the show notes, right, Gina?
That's right.
Because we want everybody to know all those numbers and all those areas to get in touch if you have any questions and all the great stuff, Grace, that you've talked about.
Yeah.
And I say that because we'd like to play a fun game now.
Awesome. I love games.
We're calling this game Recycling Rumors Sorted Out.
Oh, nice. I feel like we still need to have little theme songs, for our little games.
Yeah.
Can you animate that, Nate? Or
Recycling rumors sorted out.
So you can
Okay.
come up with a theme
Yes.
song every
Yeah. Okay.
We'll sing it together.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
since we have an expert in our midst, thank you, Grace. We want to describe a waste scenario and have you tell us, is it myth or is it fact?
Okay. I'm down for
Are
it.
you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Hit me.
All right, we're ready. Okay. Here we go. David.
If it has a triangle recycling symbol, it can go in your recycling bin.
That is a myth.
Oh.
Yeah. Not everything that has those 3 chasing arrows
Yeah.
is actually recyclable.
So this is what you were telling me, Gina.
This is exactly what I was trying to explain to Jim earlier today.
So Grace, you had just said a cool term, 3 chasing arrows. That's the little triangle.
Yeah, that little
Yes.
triangle
But
symbol.
but then there's there's different numbers, if I remember, maybe letters.
There are different numbers, but what we tell people is to ignore the number
Oh.
and ignore the symbol.
Yeah.
And just recycle. If it's a plastic item, you recycle it based on shape. So for plastic items, you recycle bottles, like a plastic water bottle, jugs, like a jug of laundry detergent if it's empty and clean, and then tubs, so like a tub of yogurt or a tub of sour cream. So for plastics, you're going to want to ignore that number and recycle based on shape.
Yeah. And
Wow,
cups.
that's great.
That's a great.
This is an
Cups.
informative game.
Yeah, it is.
What was that, Gina? Cups?
Yeah.
Yeah, cups.
So that's what I
Okay,
was doing.
next one.
Plastic bags are recyclable if you stuff them into one big bag.
That's also a myth. We kind of touched on
We
that
did,
a little
yeah.
bit already. But yeah, plastic bags are great to take to your local grocery store or somewhere else to recycle, but not in your curbside bin.
Okay, next.
Shredded paper is great for your recycling bin.
This is also a myth.
Whoa, gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So shredded paper, not only is it smaller than that 3-inch rule, but it also kind of acts like confetti in our recycling facility. There's lots of gusts of air going around, lots of technology moving. So it just is literally
up.
like confetti. Yeah, flies everywhere.
Okay.
So shredded paper is great to take to a shred event. If there's one like that, Gina, is there one coming up?
There's one on May 17th.
Ooh,
we'll have
mark
a
your
shred
calendar.
event.
Hey,
So
all right.
it's coming up.
Yeah, so keep that out of your recycling. Bring it to the shred event
But
instead.
this is a great example of our synergy,
That's right.
city and the WM, doing good things together. You don't want the shredded paper. We have a shredded paper event.
That's right. Exactly. All right. So it's better to recycle something you're unsure about than to throw it away.
This is another myth.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is kind of tying back into wish cycling. So if you're unsure, we have a tagline that's called "When in doubt, throw it out." That's the right place for an item if it's not recyclable, is in the garbage.
So that's another thing we can remember. When in doubt,
throw it out.
throw it out.
So check the guide.
Yes.
If it's not in the guide and you're not sure, the place to put it is throwing it out in the trash. Okay, got it.
Grace Fletcher, you are doing great things for the planet, and you're a lot of fun.
She is
Thank
wonderful.
you.
That's a winning combination.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you for having me. It's great. We love working with the city of Kirkland, and thanks again for having me on.
Grace, anything else that we haven't touched on that you think is important for our listeners to know?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for letting me talk here, get on my,
Yes.
my podium for a sec.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we've covered over, the span of this conversation that recycling can get pretty complicated. There's lots of little rules. You can really get stuck in the nitty gritty of it. And so one thing that WM did to try and combat this confusion, our research and innovation team actually came up with a Recycle Right campaign. And it's just a really short, small, simple group of rules that if you're doing these 3 things,
Oh, I love that.
you are recycling correctly. So the first thing is recycling clean and empty and dry cans, paper, cardboard, and bottles. The second is keeping food and liquid out of your recycling bin. And the third is no plastic bags and no bagged recyclables.
Oh, that's so good.
That's
Love
the
it.
Recycle Right campaign. If you're doing those 3 things, you're doing completely great at recycling.
Clear, crisp communication.
Yes.
Nice.
Well done. Well said.
Well,
Thank
Grace,
you.
thank you. Okay, awesome. Don't forget to sign up for our recycling facility tour. More info coming soon.
Yes, check that out. And that does it for this week, everyone. You've been listening to This Week in Kirkland. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Special thanks to Nate Gettleman and Kate Ryan for their behind-the-scenes magic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next episode is April 24th. Until then,
Stay
connected,
Kirkland.